Hello, in today's video I'm going to talk about the new alpha module, range filter. I'm on a BTC chart, and now let's load the module. You will find the link for range filter in the alpha area of the support server. Dries requested this, and it's even been colorized now. Let's get rid of the signal line and show the chart. Now I'm not going to merge it with this chart like I normally do, because I want to be able to show the colors for the price action. Another feature Dries requested. Let's bring up the DCA module, and I'm going to move this one to the main chart. Okay, going through and getting all of the basic stuff set up. Now let's take and turn off all the noise and get colors so that they are easily viewable. Now I'm going to set deviation and take profit to 0 so I can get a pure organic analysis of range filter. And I'm going to go for step aggression, price aggression. Okay, now that we have the basic setup done and you see roughly how it will function, let's get down into the details and zoom in. Range filter can be aggressively tuned, and I'm going to demonstrate that process. But first, the red indicates the range is moving downward. The green indicates the range is moving upward. Sells will take place during the transition point from an upward to a downward, and buys will take place from a transition point from a downward to upward. Now let's cover some nuances. One thing that you will need to be aware of, and I'm going to do this so you can see it. If you move between live and historical data, it has an unusual side effect with range filter, in that it puts it a day behind. As you can see here on this candle. And you can see how the polarity actually changes. So you can use live market data with range filter, and you will get consistent data because its algorithm is automatically past present. So it pulls historical data no matter what. It's just the way the historical data relates to a live market versus a historic market. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to leave it on live market. Okay, now let's go down to some of the other nuances that you can take advantage of. If you click on this arrow, you can actually use the arrow keys to then scroll through each of the various forms of moving averages. And you will see how they affect price and the DCA appropriately. Let's go ahead and leave this here, and let's pull this over here where we can see it better. Now I darkened up the green or the take profit area, as that's the most important aspect. Okay, so again clicking the down arrow, and now we will move through and we can see how well things work. There are a lot of combinations that you can choose that work well. It's just a matter of what you are trying to achieve. We'll set that one there. We'll set the slow one. And by using the arrows in this method, let's select the slow one here. You can actually see the impact of how transitions take place and how it affects the ranges. Now you can add any number of other modules to this combination to add additional filtering. And we will as soon as I'm done really refining this particular strategy. Let's go down to a 13. And let's raise the slow. You also have the multipliers that also can increase or decrease appropriate to your modifications of the ranges. And as you can see, as you increase the multipliers, it filters out drastically varying numbers of operations. So let's take this, and now you see the impact more graphically of the chart. Now the range, as you can see, starts up here. Down here, this would make a good short. And of course, here to up here would make a good long. But let's see if we can spread this out a little bit. And as you can see, the average is only 0.8% without putting some type of a take profit in there. but it's still pretty good considering that it is only using one function, or excuse me, one module to filter the context of the market. But if you wanted to add another module, say for example an RSI or a stochastic, let's add a stochastic and tune it. And wait for TradingView to take its sweet time. Okay, let's tune it to historic data. We will turn off the signal line. And we will show the chart. Now, like range filter or any other mechanism, you can tune the stochastic the same way by simply clicking the arrow and then cycling through each of the various combinations to find the appropriate context you are looking for. First, we need to at least get the buys and the sells on the same page and get some sort of consistency between the two modules. Okay, so let's go here. Let's bring this all the way down to SMMA. Okay, and there we go. Now let's see how we can, okay, now it looks like we can use an inversion, because if you look at the way everything shows up, the buys and sells between the stochastic and range filter look inverted. So let's see how well that works. Let's attach it, at least temporarily, to range filter and see what shows up. Okay, we are a little off still. That's not a problem. We will turn it off and we will continue tuning. Let's see how far off we are. So we zoom in so we can count candles. Okay, let's start looking at trades and see which ones might be best for lining up. All right, that one looks like a good candidate. Now we can turn off crossing and go to traditional. And that just adds a bunch of extra signals. But let's see if we can get cross, since that will work much better. Now, range filter has a unique combination. Okay, so we are 4 to 5 candles off. So let's hold the signal. For 5 candles. Okay, and let's hold the signal here for 5 candles. We want this to be able to line up no matter which indicator leads. Range Hunter may lead stochastic, or as in this case, stochastic may lead Range Hunter. Excuse me, Range Filter. Every time I say Range Hunter, in case I keep doing it, just remember I am talking Range Filter. My brain is tongue-tied today. Okay, so here we have a marker that lines up. So now let's see how this looks with dollar cost averaging. And we will link it to okay, here we are. 13 trades. And not bad for just a pure organic above below zero ratio. So let's see. Now let's see what happens if we move to a take profit and force a minimum take profit to 2%. Okay. We have even more filtered results. And a 14% profit over the course of 19 days. So as you can see, range filter and combinations like stochastic do a good job. And there are a lot of other combinations, including one that I was playing with earlier with J. Arling. And it does extremely well in honing down the number of positions to a very limited level. So let's see if we can possibly bring this down a little bit, but still keep it somewhat aggressive. Let's go with something out of the norm, but a good combination for aggression. So let's see if we can hone this down a little bit more, but still keep its aggressive side. We may not be able to, but then again, we might get lucky. Okay, time to turn off the signal line and turn on the chart. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to line up. Not bad. So we see quite a bit of lineup right here. Need to zoom in again so we can find out what the overlap is. See if it's close enough to be worth it. Okay, we can see that this one's not really close enough, and I really don't want to take and count that many candles out. So I think for now we're just going to take a look and see what else might occur. Now we inverted stochastic. We may or may not want to invert ADX. Then again, we have something here that looks interesting. providing we can get it to stay in zoom. Now, interesting that ADX triggered right at the bottom of the range filter, but it's quite a few bars away. So this is going to take a lot more work than what I really want in terms of the number of candle counting. So for that respect, I'm simply going to disregard ADX and keep with the current system, as I think it does well. But when you are looking to use range filter, this is the approach you would take to actually hone in price action and weed out basically all of this. This is going to be a losing market, complete range. And this is exactly what range filter prevents, is all of this nonsense. So as you work with range filter and you tune it, and you can over tune it as well, you will want to be careful about that. You can see that it can do quite a nice job. Let's see what a few other coins might look like. Coins that may not be high quality. Last profit of 4%. That's pretty good. %, and having a limited number of 16 for such a low market cap coin is exceptional. Okay, so there you have it, a fairly simple and easy approach to range filter. Tuning it is easy in that you can actually let it tune itself, and depending upon what you're looking for, you have the ability to take advantage of the market in a whole different light. And as you can see, the live and historic data does have an impact quite a bit. But it should be aware and made clear, range filter always deals with historic data even in a live setting. It's a bit of a difference than most of the other modules, and one that you need to pay close attention to, as it can really cause some unwanted side effects. And as you can see, even post-tuning range filter has some really nice characteristics that you can take advantage of, where you can specifically look for a given circumstance that might not exist otherwise. And range filter will work well with range hunter, in that you can trap ranges in between the boundaries along with complicated internal subranges. So take a look at it. Let me know if you run into any bugs on it, because this is alpha currently. And as I said, you will find the link in the Jackrabbit support server alpha channel. I'm not going to put a chart up yet because I want to see what you can come up with. As I've been playing with this all morning, to find out what kind of interesting little tidbits I can find. And I actually found a combination that yielded only one position purchase, which was quite surprising given what I used to build it. And I only needed 2 modules, excluding the dollar cost averaging. So let's see what you can come up with. Until next time.